The Timeshift.
Hello and welcome, I'm Chris Hall and this is The Timeshift, my sci-fi fun fest, and it's great to have you with me as always. Today I'm talking about Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Series 2 Episode 5 entitled Hen in the Wolf House. I have to be careful with these kind of things when they start mixing up well-known phrases because I'm liable to get it wrong, though to be honest I don't think it really matters at all. You can tell this little thing that I do is sci-fi inflicted because of the fact that I have a Tesla ball right next to me. I can't use it because it interferes with the microphone, so does it really matter? Probably not. What matters is this week's video and my little review of this week's S.H.I.E.L.D. episode. I say this week, once again, the American series is a little bit ahead than the UK one, so some of the things I may talk about may have already been divulged and given away anyway. But in any case, just so that we're all on the level and I don't make a knackers of it for anybody watching this, this video is going to be spoiler heavy. I'm not going to do the wailing thing because I've got a sore throat coming along and I really don't want to knack my voice up as a very important interview this week. But anyway, enough waffling about, let us get diving headfirst deep into the hen in the wolf house or something. Okay, so I am going to say this here and now, even though you probably can guess that by the length of the video itself. This video this week is not going to be as long as the other ones, purely and simply because I haven't that much to talk about. This episode itself was perfectly fine and perfectly functional. There were very few problems with it, though that's not to say that it was totally without problems, though it's the same problems that have been outstanding for the past few weeks, and to be honest with you, I'm getting bloody well sick of talking about them. Granted, once again, this UK run of S.H.I.E.L.D. is at least a couple episodes behind the American one, so issues I am currently having may have already been solved and rectified in the American run, but still, for the meantime, I'm lost in this weird limbo land. The issues, once again, so that I actually do have something to talk about, are the fact that A, Mr. Hunter will not bloody well shut up about his ex-fiancée, and B, there are way too many characters within this series than are actually necessary. This week, both of those problems come together and fuse to create either a whole new problem or just another niggling issue, or neither, probably something that ultimately turns out to be either enjoyable or just so utterly neutral to it. I really can't come up with any other description for it. In that, we get a new character added to the cast, and wouldn't you know, in classical, almost sitcom S.H.I.E.L.D, it turns out to be Mr. Hunter's ex-fiancée. She is called Bobbi Morse. Morse or more? Yeah, it's Morse. Though, of course, as soon as you say the word Morse, I'm immediately thinking of the TV show Detective, which itself will be an interesting crossover, but I can't honestly see that happening, seeing as the original actor who played Morse is dead, and the guy that got to play Morse at the moment in the prequel series, he's set in the past, so... But maybe Morse and Agent Carter, when they set up the Agent Carter spin-off series, they can come together and solve some crimes or something, or whatever. I'm getting distracted, but once again, this is a kind of weird combination of two problems, because it means that, one, we have a new character of the cast who, for the little time we've seen of her, seems perfectly fine, perfectly functional, she seems great and could be great fun. But it also means that we have another member of the cast whose screen time has to be divided up once again so that we can have some time with her. And it also means that Mr. Hunter is going to be bitching and moaning for Christ knows how long. I've said in the past this cast is too large, it needs cutting down, but hopefully we will get to a point where numbers will drop down. I have a sinking suspicion that Bobbi Morse is a double agent working for Hydra, because she was, and just a little bit of history for people that have forgotten, that she was working for S.H.I.E.L.D. as an agent within Hydra. She was head of security, so she got to find out security things. It also meant that she keep an eye on Simmons in case anything bad should happen. But as kick-ass and awesome as she is, there's one moment that sticks out in my mind because it was a little bit too well cut, shall we say. Purely simply because I can't think of another word to say to describe it. It's when they're running away and trying to get to the roof when Simmons goes, "Oh no, I'm being followed by the Hydra people." Then Bobbi Morse comes along and says, "Don't worry, I'll save you." And she tells Simmons to go to the roof, and Simmons goes to the roof. Then Bobbi gets the 2 batons out and starts walking towards the Hydra people, looking incredibly badass. And usually at that moment we would see her kicking ass, but she doesn't. It just cuts away to Simmons being on the roof, and a couple of seconds later Bobbi reuniting with her almost once again a couple of seconds later. So what I'm thinking is that she didn't kick the ass of the Hydra people there and then, because it was just 2 random thugs and the weird guy who goes, "Clear your mind and have clarity," or something like that. The weird one who's got the very crappy bass shoot on at almost all times. He's one of them, and she's walking towards them, and then it cuts away. So what I'm thinking of is she's been hypnotised, and she's actually now a double agent. Whether or not that will be revealed to be the case, we'll soon see. But once again, American run is ahead of the UK run, so that may have already been revealed, but whatever. The episode itself, once again, I did find enjoyable, but it's still the same issues I have with it. They're not major issues. I'm kind of growing to tolerate Hunter in a way, and the fact that the rest of the cast are bloody sick of him always talking about his fiancée, once again, is a nice little twist to things, so I feel as though I'm not the only one that's angry about all this. And there was a good moment within it. I can't say whether it's fantastic or not, because I liked the angle that it seemed to have, if that makes sense. It's the moment in which Coulson and Rita, or Rini, the woman in the flower dress, are at the restaurant, and the woman in the flower dress is threatening to expose Simmons to Hydra, and Coulson just isn't having it. He just blankly says, "Well, go on then. Go on, just reveal that. I don't care, just do it. I'm not helping you, No, and in the meantime, you got Sky freaking out because it means that Simmons, in all reality, is going to get shot, or worse, considering just how nasty Hydra are. Everyone's freaking out, like, wait, hang on a minute, no, Coulson's doing something very naughty and nasty and scary. Oh my god, the weird wibbly-wobbly spaceman juice that he's been injected with is turning him crazy, like, Garrett, quick, shoot him. And no, that doesn't turn out to be the case at all, and it just turns out that the reason why he didn't want to give her up was the fact that Bobbi Morse was already there to save Simmons, which was perfectly fine. It's just that I kind of would have liked it a little bit more had it been him being a little bit cold and ruthless, just saying, yeah, that doesn't matter, the greater good is a more important thing than the sake of one agent, which realistically, yes, we would have been incredibly angry at him, but still it would have been a nice twist and add a little more gravity and a little more grit to the series. But I enjoyed the scene for what it was, but it wasn't stand out. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't quite as enjoyable, shall we say, as those smaller moments last episode in which we had May and Coulson interacting with one another and reminiscing about old times. That in itself had a little bit more reality to it, a little bit more grit, and a little bit more... When I say grit, I don't mean something that's gritty. I mean, has a little bit more naturalness to it and a little bit more dynamism and reality to it. With this... this moment, I did enjoy it, but not as much, and of course I'm repeating myself. And we also learnt this week, and I'm referring to my notes here, and my mouse has just disappeared off the screen, we discovered what the symbols are, or at least it's hinted as to what the symbols are. Sky believes that it looks like a map, which it could well be. I had an idea that it may be either a map or some kind of circuit board to build some kind of weird alien technology, and the ice cream fans going off in the background. Fantastic. Anyway, so to have some kind of more instinctive implication as to what it is great, because that at least moves that on a little bit, even though it is still incredibly speculative, which makes sense, it being some kind of star map, because of the fact that the whole fact he's writing that comes as a result of him being injected by alien DNA, so that makes sense. What doesn't kind of make sense is the fact that Sky isn't doing it yet, or hasn't done it at all, because she likewise was injected with it, so that's either her having a different kind of reaction or no reaction, or as Coulson moots that she may herself be an alien, which is a possibility given the weirdness of her origin, the fact when she was found it was in a village full of psychopaths who were killing each other trying to protect her. So, you know, you never quite know. And of course, Skylar's father is in this episode. He is a not very nice man, very violent, very weird, who seemed to have a near Jekyll and Hyde come Incredible Hulk moment when he was threatening the woman in the flower dress. I'm kind of interested to see where they go with his character and exactly what his deal is. So I am interested, as a greater idea, to see exactly who Sky is and where she comes from. Though at the same time, I kind of not want that to be the case, because that does take away a great portion of her mystery. Of course, it depends what she is and where they're going to go with it, but still, I like a little bit of mystery. It's only an issue. It won't make me hate the show. It's just, you know, a little bit of weirdness is welcome, because otherwise I'm not sure where the series is going to go after that, because once we've figured out how Coulson came back from the dead, now it's a case of figuring out what the symbols are, which we're probably going to find out before too long, probably in connection to the Age of Ultron movie, or what the hell it's called, the new Avengers movie. And then once we find out who Sky is and what Sky is, it's kind of, where do we go from there? Like I say, as a whole episode, I did find it enjoyable. Same issues I've had before, but they're not quite as profound, maybe because of the fact I've made peace with them a little bit more. Now, can't really talk about the performances that much this week, because there was no standout performances, and I really don't want to waste my time going, oh yeah, Coulson was kind of okay this week, yay, and Sky's father was kind of creepy and weird, ooh, yeah, because that wouldn't be good enough. And yes, this week's episode has been a little bit rambly, because I honestly can't think of anything worthwhile to say about it. It was fine, it was functional, there was no major problems with it, it was good. Of course, if you have anything you'd like to say, any questions you'd like to raise, please, for God almighty, give me some questions. Give me something to consider, because if we have another episode like this, which is just so, then bugger me. I'm not going to have anything to talk about, am I? It's just going to be me switching the camera and going, oh, it's alright, and then end video. 10 seconds long. Now, of course, we have the intro bit, which was about 20 seconds, probably about a minute long review of me going, hey, everybody, oh, it was okay, see you next week. Bloody hell. Anyway, thank you for watching. I need to wrap this up now because I'm getting rambly. Thank you for watching. I have nothing else to say. If you have any questions about anything at all, let me know in the comment section of whatever web portal you're watching this on. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.